These are the best Lenny and Carl moments in The Simpsons. Homer, Lenny, Carl, and Moe go on a road trip to scatter Larry's ashes, who has passed away, but their friendship may die as well. Remains of the Day opens with Lenny, Carl, and Homer at Moe's, and they persuade Moe to bet on a game, and he loses. Moe gets angry and decides to throw them out of the bar.
You too, Slumpo!
I don't like the sound of that squish.
In case you didn't know, people shouldn't squish.
I think Larry's dead.
You think? The whole family went to Larry's funeral, and Homer was complaining about having to go, but Marge told him he has to pay his respects, since he spent more time with Larry than with his own kids. That's a very sad truth. When they walked into the church, Marge noticed that very little people showed up. Reverend Lovejoy showed up late, and he asked, "Who are they burying today?" And a lady told him that they're burying a sad, balding drunk who hung out at Moe's.
Homer Simpson was a beloved pillar of this community.
Oh, that's spot on, actually. Marge told Homer to do something, and he said,
Why, he's saying nice things. You never call me a pillar.
Larry's mom came up and said that her son always talked about his best friends, the fellows at Moe's Tavern. She said it would really mean a lot to her if they came up and shared fond memories of her son.
You talk.
I didn't know him.
No one did.
Your store was closest.
Wow, they really have no shame. Larry's mom suggested they should talk about Larry's love of fishing. They said that Larry always caught the biggest fish. When they sat back down, Marge scolded them for not taking the time to get to know Larry.
The four of us are closer than close.
Yeah, we're like the Sex in the City broads, except super gross.
Homer tells Marge that Larry just wasn't part of them. Marge says that that must be because they never asked him. She didn't even know the man, and she knows exactly how they treated him. Marge said that all he ever wanted was a simple human connection, but instead he died unloved in a bar. Okay, Marge, now you're depressing me too. Afterwards, they were sitting in front of the church, and they were contemplating if they were such terrible people, and Marge said that the one she's disappointed in is Lenny.
He just always struck me as a sensitive guy with a good heart.
I did?
He did? Then Larry's mom came up to them and gave them a drawing Larry did of all of them. Carl said it kind of looks like they're in front of Serenity Falls.
We should all take Larry's ashes there, together.
Huh?
It's the sensitive thing to do.
Now that's the Lenny Marge imagines. Homer began saying he can't go, aka he doesn't want to go.
It sounds stressful. I love stress.
Guess who's going to Serenity Falls? So the next day, the four of them hit the road and go to Serenity Falls. But Carl only wanted to get this thing over with since he had a big date planned with his girlfriend. Carl said that Larry never felt like one of them.
He was a drunk, and we're just social drinkers who also drink alone.
Two different worlds.
How so exactly? A drunk is a drunk. That night, they slept at a motel, and Lenny left a light on which beamed straight into Carl's eyes. Carl asked him to turn the light off, and Lenny said,
Can you believe this guy?
Larry's not here. He's dead.
I think Carl's getting jealous. Lenny said that Larry's ghost is here, but Carl told him ghosts aren't real. Lenny said that he believes Larry's ghost is hovering above them. Kind of sweet way of looking at the afterlife. But Carl disagreed. He thought that when you die, your soul becomes cosmic energy, until your consciousness is reborn as a creature that befits your metaphysical station. Seems like something Carl would say. But Moe had a more pessimistic way of looking at the afterlife, or lack of it.
It's just a sad, silent void. Nothing. And it's not even a regular nothing. It's an absence of everything, huh?
No wonder he's depressed. Homer told them they're all wrong. He asks them why they have so many questions when the Bible is there.
I didn't serve 20 years to life in church not to cash in on those frequent prayer miles.
Hey, he isn't married to Marge for nothing. Lenny got mad and took Larry with him to the bathroom. The next morning, when Homer went in, he accidentally knocked the urn down, and it opened, revealing some, I assume expensive, rocks inside. Then Moe came in.
Is them's what I think them's is? Sapphires.
Someone hit the jackpot. Moe said that Larry must have been moving stolen gems across the northern border by stuffing them where the sun don't shine. Homer wanted to tell Lenny and Carl, but Moe convinced him not to, because this way, they can split the gems in half. So they don't tell nothing to Lenny and Carl and continue their trip. But then a fight broke out between Lenny and Carl because Lenny decided to take a more scenic route so Larry could enjoy it. But Carl got mad because Lenny knows he's in a rush to get back home to his girlfriend.
Now let's get back on the highway.
Maybe try to look less concerned about the urn. When Moe hit the brakes, Lenny told Carl he'll go back on the highway. But Carl said they should do right by Larry. Oh, that's sweet. But then Larry dropped out of the van and the sapphires spilled.
There were sapphires in Larry's urn?
And you knew?
Homer said he can explain, but then Moe jumped in and said that Homer talked him into screwing them over. Oh, he's such a cockroach. Moe and Homer began fighting, but then a sheriff stopped behind them and told them they're all under arrest for jewel smuggling, and he told them to get inside his frunk. The four of them were fighting the whole ride and snapping at each other when
Larry wanted out of life was to be part of this friend group.
What a dumb, dead chump.
that's no way to talk about a dead man, but I mean, yeah, he was probably better off without them. The sheriff was talking over the phone with his boss, and he said that he found the guys who took Larry's last haul.
Mickey, no loose ends.
So what you want me to do with him?
Of course, Fat Tony is somehow behind all this. He told Mickey to let them go.
No loose ends.
I gotta pay more attention to the nicknames.
Damn it, man, what's stopping you from calling him now and making it right? Mickey didn't know that Homer and the others heard everything he said, and they realized they were gonna die.
What if Letty's right and we're all gonna be ghosts?
What if Moe is right and it's just a void?
Really? You're debating that now? How about coming up with a plan to escape? But then Homer found a flare gun and he fired it at Mickey when he opened the frunk. But the force of the gun made the car start moving and they found themselves balancing on a cliff. Now their only hope was to jump out at the exact same time. They jump out on 3, everyone except Homer.
You don't jump on 3!
The 3 is the goal.
Agree to disagree!
Now is not the time to discuss this. A tree fell on Mickey and he dropped the urn that stumbled downhill and stopped the car. And coincidentally enough, they were right by the falls when they noticed the waterfalls looking nothing like the picture.
This whole stupid trip when we were driven apart was for nothing.
Well, if you call that nothing. But then Homer realized what the place from the picture actually was.
Welcome home, Larry. Enjoy your special place.
And while they may have an exclusive group of friends, just the 4 of them, we've always known that Lenny and Carl have a special bond between just the 2 of them. Homer thinks Marge left him for Artie Ziff, so he and Lenny run away to work at an oil rig. Half-decent proposal starts with Marge not being able to sleep because of Homer's snoring.
Cool, Mom's on drugs. If we turn her in, we can get a form letter from Dick Cheney.
And he said that without hesitation. Marge and Homer went to Dr. Hibbert, who told them that Homer needs an operation if he's going to fix his snoring.
Here's what it costs.
Interesting. Here's my counteroffer.
Get out.
Yeah, that's a reasonable reaction. That night, Marge went to her sister's so she could get some sleep.
Overnight bag? No husband in sight. She left Homer? Let's get that ring off.
You can't blame them for having high hopes. Marge explained the situation, and Patty and Selma said they'll just have a girls' night then. They got drunk, and they saw Artie Ziff, Marge's ex. Well, that's actually too grand a title for him. Her high school prom date would be better. He was pronounced the 5th richest man in the country, and Patty and Selma suggested that Marge should get in touch with him. Drunk as she was, she agreed.
I want to sex you up. Your love slave, Marge.
Oh, they have some sick minds. Marge objected, and she said that they can't send that, but it was already too late. Artie got the mail, and he was pleasantly surprised.
I was just thinking about her. For the last 20 years.
Yeah, Marge just got in touch with her psycho stalker. The next day, Marge was making breakfast for the family when a helicopter landed in their backyard. Artie came out and told Marge he's not surprised she wants him back in her life.
I'm happily married.
Married? Was it consummated?
Yeah.
What did he think the 3 children around here are? Homer then came out and Artie invited them for a ride. They went on his ship and he made a proposal for them. Artie says he will give Homer $1 million to let him spend the weekend with Marge. Marge said that that is sick and they won't be doing it, but that night Homer snored for the entire night and Marge didn't get any sleep. They called Artie the next day and Homer threatened him and told him no funny stuff. When Marge left, Homer went to Moe's and Homer told them the next round of shots was on him because he had a big payday coming.
Yeah, Homer sold his wife for $1 million.
I just rented her to an old boyfriend.
How does that make it any better? Moe said that to him it looks like everyone's the winner. Is he really taking advice from unmarried drunks?
I'd dump your ass.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't get Artie out of my head.
Well, maybe you should question your preferences then. Homer realized that his friends are right, and he ran out to get Marge back. Meanwhile, Artie got ready for a date. Artie remade their high school prom so he could redo the night he messed up all those years ago.
Many years ago, I turned a groovy night into a complete bummer.
Artie told her that tonight she will get the prom she deserved. He sounds sincere, but I don't trust him one bit. Homer then got to Artie's property, but he wasn't allowed to get into the party. He then climbed the roof of the building, and at that moment, Marge was telling Artie that no fake prom could make her forget her husband. Artie said he sees that she will never feel about him the way he feels about her, but before the evening ends, he requested an innocent peck on the cheek.
Oh no! If Marge marries Artie, I'll never be born.
I don't think that's how it works, Homer. But Homer left before he saw Marge push Artie away and slap him across his ugly face.
I knew this weekend was just an excuse to get in my mouth. Keep your money.
Oh, Marge. If only she knew that she'd come home to an empty bed. Homer went to Moe's and he told Lenny and Moe he saw Marge kissing Artie.
Lenny, how'd you like to leave town with me and never come back?
Sounds like a plan.
We all need a friend like Lenny. No question asked, he just follows Homer blindly. When Marge came home, she saw a tape on the bed.
The next time you see my name will be in the hobo obituaries.
Really? You're not even gonna try to live a normal life. Homer was already on a bus with Lenny, and as they were driving, Homer said that everything reminded him of Marge. Lenny told him he knows what he's going through.
We're coming up on Mount Carlmore. I carved that one wonderful summer.
What did Carl think?
And people still try to tell me they're not in love. Yeah, right. Lenny and Carl got jobs at an oil rig, and Homer said that the job will be perfect.
I'm gonna leave this world the way I entered it, torn away from the woman I love.
Meanwhile, his family was trying to figure out where he was, and, well, he wasn't really covering his tracks. They saw he checked out 10 books on oil rigging, and Lisa quickly connected the dots and realized he must have taken a job at West Springfield Oil Patch. Marge tells Artie that she appreciates his help finding Homer.
I hope we can always be friends.
Of course.
With privileges?
Disgusting, man. Does that really work on anyone? Meanwhile, Lenny and Carl accidentally started a fire on the oil rig and they couldn't escape.
Oh well, circle of life.
How could he be so nonchalant about it? But then Marge saw them and she dropped ladders for them to climb up. Lenny began to climb up, but Homer wouldn't.
So I can watch my wife spend the rest of her life in the arms of another man? I don't think so.
So Lenny should die too? Artie then came out and told Homer that he has won, and that he owns Marge's heart. And that's something he could never buy. Say less, he's coming. But then Lenny wouldn't climb up.
There's nothing on that helicopter for me.
Don't be so sure.
Carlson?
They just can't stand to be away from each other. And sometimes they can't stand to look at each other, especially after a great betrayal. Homer, Moe, Lenny, and Carl win the lottery, but Carl steals the ticket and leaves with the money for Iceland. The saga of Carl opens with Homer, Moe, Lenny, and Carl getting their regular lottery ticket and meeting up at Moe's. They were hoping that their 4 lucky numbers will bring them luck. Moe said that his lucky number is 3 because that's the number of brothers and sisters.
19 for me. For the best year of my life, 1996.
And I'm 69.
Of course he is. I wonder why that is, Homer. And as they were watching the lottery, they heard the 4 magic numbers: 3, 19, 22, and 69. They start screaming and celebrating, and Carl said they should throw a raging party. He said he'll go and cash the check, which seems like a sensible thing to do because out of the 4 of them, he's the most reasonable one. Later at the party, they were talking about what they're going to do with the money, and they asked Carl what he is going to do with the money.
Oh, I guess Carl ain't back yet from cashing in a ticket.
That seems odd if you ask me, but they waited for him. But even after a few hours, Carl didn't show up. They get concerned, thinking he might have been in an accident.
I'm glad we're the kind of people who are worried about Carl's safety instead of thinking that he ripped us off.
Well, at least some of you are. But a few minutes later, they were in the car on their way over to Carl's, whose phone kept going straight to voicemail. When they got into Carl's apartment, they saw that his stuff was gone. They realized that Carl had betrayed them. They realized they need a new song now.
4 best friends.
Homer, Simpson, Lenny, Moe, and no one.
Oh, Carl. What have you done? Homer, Lenny, and Moe search Carl's apartment, but they find nothing. Although the whole time, Lenny was trying to give Carl the benefit of the doubt.
Guys, give Carl a chance. I'm sure he's gonna come back.
And I'm pretty sure he's not. Homer said he doesn't think Carl is coming back, but Lenny was persistent. See, now that's the kind of delusional friend I'd like to have. But then Homer found a note stuck to the fridge with a message for them.
Goodbye forever, Carl Carlson.
Where'd you go, Carl?
Wait a minute. They don't know where Carl is from? Some friends they they are. Then they went to dinner at Homer's, and Marge said she couldn't believe it was Carl who took their winnings, because she thought it would have been any one of them except Carl. Really is hard to believe Carl, out of all of them, would do something like that. Marge asked where Carl is from, so maybe they could start looking for him there, but they said they don't know. She really got them there. The next day, Homer was holding up a picture of Carl while they were at Moe's, and he noticed that there's something in the reflection of his glasses.
He's looking at a geyser, and there's a sign in front of it.
They managed to read the name of the sign, and it turns out
one of the most famous natural wonders in Iceland. I guess that's where Carl's from.
I'm still stuck on the fact that they didn't already know that. Lisa helps them find Carl's family, and turns out
Carl was adopted by a couple who lives outside Reykjavik.
so they decide to go there to get the money back. You know, for people who called each other friends, they care a hell of a lot more about that money than about their friend Carl. On their flight to Iceland, Lenny was talking about how he can't wait to see the smile on Carl's face when they surprise him. Honestly, Lenny's optimism is getting kind of sad. When they landed in Iceland, they asked around about Carl, and when a man heard Carl's name, he immediately got grim. The man tells them that his family has been hated for 1,000 years.
Our country is very small, very judgmental.
I guess that's pretty useful in this situation. The man took them to a museum and he showed them a saga of Carl's family. It said how Carl's family were the watchmen of the coast, always keeping an eye out for invading hordes. Iceland's safety depended on them, but they failed their duty.
Enemy invaded, burning our sweaters and feasting upon our tiny horses.
The man tells them that screwing friends over is probably in Carl's blood, but he's adopted, so that doesn't really translate. They find Carl's family home and they stake out in front of it until he leaves and they follow him. They follow him into the city and
Oh, damn it, we lost him!
There he is, and he's got our money.
they sit Carl down at a restaurant and threaten him with the disgusting and repulsive food of his native country unless he tells them why he stole their money.
Carl, tell them the good reason you had for borrowing the money.
Lenny, please, you're embarrassing yourself at this point. Carl said that he did so to clear his family's name. He said that the saga from before was missing a page, and he said that his family believed they had fought bravely, and the page would prove it.
I took the lottery money to buy that page and restore my family's honor.
That seems reasonable, so why not just say so? Lenny asked the same question, and
I didn't tell you because we're not friends.
finally someone said it. Carl said that friends share their feelings, hopes, and dreams. I mean, they can't fight him on that when that's the truth. Lenny asked if that meant that all those years of hanging out meant nothing, and Carl said that they didn't to him.
Makes it easier now for me to kill Carl.
And finally, the nice one snapped. Homer and Moe told Lenny to forget about Carl and go home, because they thought they still had the money. But Carl already spent it on the missing page, so they took it instead. Carl asks them to give it back because it will restore his family's honor. But they say that maybe they'll give it back to their friend, but they're not friends. That's really petty, and on a third grade level. But what more could we expect from the three of them? Then Marge called Homer to ask how things were going, and he told her what happened and how they took the missing page from Carl. Marge told them to read it then and see, but Homer asked how could they learn to read ancient Icelandic.
With these. And my doctor says it's better for me not to sleep.
That's really disturbing to me for some reason. They take the time to learn ancient Icelandic, and they read the saga. Turns out, not only did the Carlson family let the invaders in, they joined them in the looting and barbaric behavior towards the village.
Carl's family was even worse than people thought.
They were the original ultimate scumbags.
Oh, now I feel bad for him. The three of them come up with a plan, and they stand up in front of everyone in town to say something.
But Carl Carlson's honor has been redeemed by the deeds of Carl Carlson.
Lenny shared a story about how Carl helped him move, even though he already moved the week before. And Moe shared a story about how Carl helped him paint his house.
Carlson is our friend, even if he doesn't believe it.
They say that if they can forgive him for everything, then the town can also try to forgive his ancestors. The townspeople say that many small deeds of Carl Carlson have redeemed his family forever.
How can you say these men are not your true friends? I can't.
Oh, and Lenny got his first hug. Back in Springfield, Carl thanked his friends for teaching him the true meaning of male friendship.
We don't get together to share our emotions. We get together to escape them.
That's not the point, but okay. Lenny and Carl are more often than not just there for the dramatic effect, with not much plot revolving around them. but they do have good one-liners. A headhunter encourages Homer, Lenny, and Carl to take a job at another nuclear power plant. Once Upon a Time in Springfield opens with Marge preparing donuts for her family, and Homer told her that he gets free donuts at work.
I can see them now, in the break room. Beside the fridge, the pink cardboard box awaits.
Wow, I really can't believe he just said no to donuts. Homer continued talking about donuts on his way to work, but when Homer went inside, he saw something was different.
Oh, pink box!
I'm afraid your daily donuts are no more.
You can't do that!
Homer genuinely seems like he's gonna cry. Mr. Burns said that as far as he's concerned, the country is still in a depression.
I'm spending a fortune on atoms, and we have to cut costs.
Homer says that there are other expensive unnecessaries than donuts, but Mr. Burns wouldn't change his mind.
No donuts!
No!
Donuts! Exactly.
Now that's gonna depress more workers than it's gonna save money. Later, Homer, Lenny, and Carl were at Moe's, and Homer was really digging into the peanuts when Moe told him off. Homer told him that they took away their donuts at work.
I think that's the best thing, because then you can say, well, there's nothing we can do about it.
I agree with Lenny. If you can't do anything about the problem, why stress at all? On the other hand, these are donuts we're talking about. But then a guy introduced himself to Homer, Lenny, and Carl and said that he's a headhunter who specializes in nuclear workers. He told them that they have no idea how valuable they are. He also told them that their industry is now booming because
All the protesters who marched in front of nuclear power plants are dying off from radiation poisoning.
well, that's convenient. The man brought them to a nuclear power plant in Capital City and he showed them around.
Now, other nuclear plants let their employees tape Gary Larson cartoons on their workstation.
But at Cap City Nuclear, they can actually see Gary Larson. That's something Springfield Nuclear can't compete with, really. Then he even took them to get massages.
I don't care what anyone says. Massages are relaxing.
Who said they weren't? The headhunter said that if they sign up with Cap City Nuclear, they'll get weekly massages, plus free sushi. But then Smithers saw them and he called Mr. Burns.
Sir, I'm afraid your donut-cutting measures, while reasonable, were perceived as draconian.
Take a man's donuts and all of a sudden all sense of loyalty is lost. That night, Homer, Lenny, and Carl were taking out their stuff from the plant.
I better get out of here before I have a meltdown.
If I hadn't had to work in you, we might have been friends.
That's a weird thing to put things, Carl.
So long! Oh, right.
How did they ever work at the plant? But before they could leave, they were approached by Mr. Burns and Smithers. Mr. Burns first begged them not to leave, and when they said it was too late for that, he said he knows that Cap City has been wooing them with trips and stuff he can't match. But
Except this little going-away present.
You can't win us back with mere donuts.
does he really think they're that pathetic? Mr. Burns said that they aren't just any donuts. They were made the old-fashioned way.
That is the most amazing donut I've ever tasted.
Mr. Burns tells them that if they stay, they can have them every day. But those are just donuts. He can't expect them to stay just because of that.
Can we get a health plan to go with them?
Sure, you can have a health plan. Or 2 donuts a day.
So he'll kill them rather than provide a health plan. And they'll just go along with it? The answer is yes. Yes, they will. But Lenny and Carl aren't always the happy, cheery best friend duo they want to be. Homer and Mr. Burns get trapped in a snowed-in cabin during a company retreat. Mountain of Madness starts with Mr. Burns pulling a fire drill in the plant, and well, just take a look.
All right, popcorn's ready.
That's the fire alarm.
We gotta get out of here.
Wait for me! Come on.
Really? You'd rather have your popcorn than save your life. Homer, on the other hand, ran out and closed the door on everybody.
I think I won, Mr. Burns.
You won, all right. You won more than you bargained for.
Yeah, I don't think you get anything for risking the lives of your colleagues, Homer. Mr. Burns couldn't believe that people took longer than 15 minutes to get out, so he told them that that was a disgraceful display and that they need serious lessons in teamwork.
Maybe he does, but I don't.
Hey, you take that back!
Hit him, Carl! You too, Lenny!
You know, I get why people back in the day didn't know which one was Lenny and which one was Carl. When Homer got home, he told Marge and the kids that Mr. Burns was making them go on a corporate retreat up in the mountains to learn about teamwork. So when they got to the mountains that weekend, Mr. Burns was talking about how this will be the most back-breaking weekend of their lives. Mr. Burns said that each two-man team will work its way through the wilderness to a cabin somewhere on this mountain.
The second-to-last team to arrive at the cabin will receive an hilarious World's Worst Employee trophy.
He says that the last team to arrive will be fired. Way to motivate your people, Monty. Mr. Burns said that to show them he's not playing any favorites, he and Smithers will also be participating. Smithers said that they placed all their names in a hat, and they'll be pairing as he draws the names.
Lenny, Carl.
Nuts. Nuts.
What happened to being best friends? In the end, the only person not drawn was Homer.
Simpson and Burns.
Quiet, you fool. You're on the one team that can't possibly be fired.
Good thinking, Homer. Smithers was angry, and he was feeling betrayed because Mr. Burns assured him that the drawing was rigged, so they'd be teammates. Mr. Burns tells him that he has been a bit of a pill lately. Well, if the boss tells you that, you should be concerned. Everyone gets ready for the race to begin, and Mr. Burns fires the gun.
To your marks, get set, go!
Ready, Mr. Burns?
One moment.
Homer, you might be on the boss's team, but between you two, God only knows who's slower. Meanwhile, Smithers was left alone without a pair, and he was talking to himself and cursing Mr. Burns for leaving him alone after everything he's done for him.
Why, if you were here, I'd kick you right in your bony old behind! Bony old behind! Bony old behind!
Mr. Burns thanks Homer, saying he has been watching his figure. It's hard to imagine Homer giving Mr. Burns such a compliment, but hey, if it gets him on his good side. After walking for some time, Mr. Burns proposed something to Homer. He asked Homer if an opportunity arose for taking a small shortcut, would he be opposed to taking it? Is he proposing they cheat?
Well, I say, cheating is a gift man gives himself.
Mr. Burns, I insist that we cheat.
Well, you're not going to say no to your boss. And frankly, walking up that mountain doesn't look good on you, Homer. Mr. Burns then revealed his sleigh just waiting for them hidden in the bushes. Well, if there's anyone who hates working hard for something more than Homer, I'd like to see that person. Mr. Burns and Homer get to the cabin shortly, and Mr. Burns said they have a few extra hours before the others arrive. So they get inside to rest and relax.
You know, Mr. Burns, you're the richest guy I know. Way richer than Lenny.
No, yes.
Why is Lenny the comparison here? Turns out that Mr. Burns and Homer have a lot in common. And by that, I mean they both love lounging around and doing nothing and not having to get up. Homer showed him a trick.
Say I want that bowl of dip.
Why, you'd have to get up.
Homer stomps his leg on the table until the bowl jumps right in his arm.
I am in your debt.
Use it wisely, my friend.
The duo you never knew you needed. But as they clinked their glasses, they started an avalanche that buried their cabin in the snow. And the most likely of duos aren't having the best time of their lives. Mr. Burns and Homer realize there's no way out and no way for them to contact the outside world. Meanwhile, Lenny and Carl were right on top of the cabin, only they didn't know it.
Maybe there is no cabin. Maybe it's one of them metaphorical things.
Now you're just pulling things out of your you-know-what. I'm gonna stay calm throughout this episode.
Maybe the cabin is the place inside each of us created by our goodwill and teamwork.
Then they remember that Mr. Burns said there would be sandwiches. Thank you. But the two of them give up and continue searching for the cabin elsewhere. Mr. Burns and Homer dug their way out, but then when they high-fived each other, they started another avalanche, which buried them under even more snow. Meanwhile, Lenny and Carl got to another cabin, and they thought that that must be the place Mr. Burns was talking about.
Well, we made it here first. All thanks to teamwork.
Yeah, my teamwork.
I think teamwork calls for more than one person. When everyone else got to the cabin, they realized that the only ones who didn't make it were Mr. Burns and Homer. But then a ranger came and asked them what are they doing there, and everyone realized they're at the ranger station.
The only other cabin is right over there.
Look at all these avalanches.
They are surprised and ask if the avalanches could have buried the cabin. Well, duh, people, use your brains. Meanwhile, Mr. Burns and Homer were going crazy, and they started turning on each other.
I'll kill you, you bloated museum of treachery!
You and what army? Stand back. I have powers.
Yeah, they've gone mental. They start fighting, and Mr. Burns hits a propane tank, which catapults the cabin. Smithers sees the cabin moving towards them, and...
We're over here, homie!
Oh, something's wrong with its brakes.
I don't think cabins have brakes. When everyone rushed into the cabin, Mr. Burns said,
Once you've been through something like that with a person, you never want to see that person again.
You said it, Mr. Burns. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your favorite Lenny and Carl moment from the show.